That's it then. It's all over. I despise my life growing up. Those slums are vile places. I was cursed from birth, but when into poverty, the son of a pen with autism. Parents did nothing but quarrel all day long. All the money they had was never spent on me. So I set about studying to better myself, so one day escape from the hellhole. Then you eventually became a communication officer at an IO determination. But now you decide to try to sell government secrets? Why? Isn't it obvious? Because I wanted money. Even now, years later, the image of my life in the slums wake me to small hours. Or to drown them out with more money than anyone would leave in that squirrel could ever imagine. Then one day I met him. Mr. Manus McGilded. You're a fan with a queer talent, you are. I want to throw you away if you are interested. All you need to do is along with my little plan. Was to steal the Ministry telegraph message logs and McGilda will buy them for a handsome sum. As I was responsible for inspection of the Ministry communication officers, it was a simple enough task. The lure of the devil's offerings, how easy it is to succumb. But you must surely have realized the seriousness of the crime you were committing. And for that reason I took great lengths to ensure that my actions were untraceable. By using the music box. My father was a brickmaker, though my mother divorced him when I was still a child. Yes, Mr. Mazel Milverton. That's right, he was very skilled with his hands. He'd once been a music box maker apprentice. I imagine his skill would be sufficient to create a machine that could generate Morse code. So I sought out my father again to employ his services. It was the first time I see him since I left the slums 10 years earlier. Look at you, Ashley. What a fine giant you become, huh? He was a different man to the one in my memory, a thin, frail old man. My poverty had never broken him, nor corrupted him like it had been. I was sure that he wouldn't help me if I told him the real reason, so I made up a story. I got some work for you, father. I need some music box disc made. Music box disc, huh? A musician friend of mine has written some music he wants to sell to the public. He brought a score with me, there are two actually. He delighted some. It's been 20 years since I did any work like this there. Fetch my tools, would you? They're in the loft. That's how I had him to make the two discs. Thereby splitting the information in two. We're taking considerable precautions indeed. Also to protect myself as much as I did anything. It meant that I could deal with McGilding to separate transactions. The first involved the first of the two discs and the music box for playing them. Exchanged them with McGall for 10 guineas. 10 guineas? That's nothing. Then on receipt of the second disc, he will pay 1,000 guineas. Okay, perfect. So that what happened with the omnibus 2 months ago. Was the second part of the deal? The exchange of the second disc? Yes, I sold the man information that way a number of times already. That way? So you probably made a lot. Presumably he became reluctant to part with his money. But that doesn't quite make sense, Mr. Graydon. Or why was it that he hit the omnibus 2 months ago? Your father and Mr. Milverton was the one dealing with Mr. McGilda and not yourself. When I received 1,000 guineas after my first completed dealings with McGilded, I decided to give 200 to my father for his travels. But my father realized something was amiss. In time he worked out that I must be involved in something dubious. And when he did, he said to me, "Next time there's an exchange, you'll let your old man do it, understand? Otherwise I won't take your money anymore." That was my father's way of dealing with it, I suppose. Coming to the omnibus, hand over the second disc and take the money from McGilded, that's it. I had no idea that what was actually on the disc I'd asked him to make, he never knew. Just like I'll never know why everything went so horribly wrong that night. All I know is that the disc was taken from him and he never returned home. It was only then that I found out what sort of monster McGilder really was. So after 10 years of not once uttering it, I swore on my father's name. To exact revenge. So did you kill him? Revenge? As anyone with even the remotest knowledge of the man will no doubt be able to imagine. McGilder brought all his wealth and influence to bear in the most despicable of ways. To crush any semblance of justice in his trial. The crime scene was tampered with, evidence and was fixed, and witnesses were bribed. There 2 months ago was a farce from the start to finish. My feet had barely touched British shore back then. I walked into the hornet's nest completely unaware of the sinister background to it all. I made plenty of money out of my dealings with McGilder by then, so I spared nothing to my arrangement 2 months ago. I knew exactly who to hire. You're willing to pay the price. There are people in this city willing to do anything to ask. McGilder himself has shown me that. Are you saying that? I think you have the picture now. After he twisted everything to his favor in his courtroom to ensure that he was free. I took matters on my own hands and delivered the justice that Monster deserved. The tragic incident following the trial here 2 months ago was planned and executed by yours truly. McGilder died that day. It was caused by these men. Everything ready, sir? Would you like to follow me into the courtroom? What's it, officer? This is sooner than I was led to believe. No, it is not convenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule. Well, I must be making tracks now. It is time for the inspection. I was going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. Ask if they will be present for it myself. So the policeman who came to tell McGilder he could examine the omnibus again. That's right, an imposter hired by me. McGilder used his wealth to manipulate the trial. He paid people to adulterate the omnibus with all manner of false evidence. He threatened a witness to lie in their testimony. So I gave the man a taste of his own medicine. Once the omnibus was danced in Paris, one of my sham policemen ushered McGilder inside and sent him one-way journey to hell. An eye for an eye. That's how I avenged my father's death. A spring-chilly account indeed. But that wasn't the end of it. For me, at least. There was a loose end, you see. A loose end? Yes, I should think it's obvious. The second disc, which my father had taken to exchange with McGild. Oh, yes. That was indeed the Manchester man's trial 2 months ago. Clearly because it had been removed from the scene of the crime. When I realized it was missing, I remember something. Something from the first time I dealt with McGilded. This is the first of the 2 discs and the music box you need to play them. Well, look at that now. What an ingenious little invention. So then, as I promised, 10 guineas for you, young man. What is this? Winnipeg's pawnbrokery? Aye, pawnbrokery ticket, so it is. You can use to redeem an article I deposit there for you. There's no need to give a name, just hand over the ticket and tell the fiend their watchword. I put a jewel in pawn for you. I'll fetch a good 10 guineas if you sell it. I'll put a jewel in pawn for you. I'll get a guinea if you tell it, so good. I never heard a pawnbroker being used in quite that way before. Do you not? Like Mr. Grady? Well, the pawnbrokers are a very useful place. No, each one is like an extremely secure vault. So I knew that if he'd taken steps to hide the disc, he'll be in that pawnbrokery somewhere. Now I don't deny that he killed my father, he must have trusted the ticket to someone. Yes, to Gina. I remember now that when we first met you at Winnipeg that afternoon 2 days ago, I had a description of Miss Lestrade written down. How did you know who you were looking for? From the trial, the pickpocket testimony was clear and peculiar. Anyone could see that. Realized immediately that she was another of Mick gilded pawns, and he must have threatened her somehow. I was fairly convinced it will be her who had the ticket, so I started to make some inquiries. And a strong suspicion a girl will come out of the woodwork on the redemption deadline. He was absolutely right. And yes, sure enough, she did. All I needed to do was to wait until the girl went to Windybags to redeem the articles. Unfortunately, she redeemed only McGill the overcoat and the one disc that was in its pocket. The all-important music box with the second disc inside was missing, because it had already been forfeited 2 days earlier. But I was aware of that fact, and had not been I could have avoided my nighttime excursion. Meanwhile, as our investigation into the stolen government secrets was progressing, we picked up the fact that McGilder was involved. Spectre, you recovered fast. My orders were to recover the stolen information as quickly as possible. So we started gathering the valid possession and examining whatever we could lay our hands on. And a full-scale investigation going on the yard, but had to keep it as quiet as we could. Then, when the inspector here took the disc from me in the pawnbrokery that day, I became nervous. I was sure the music box and the second disc were still there in the shop somewhere, so I knew it was a race against time. I had to find those articles before the police did. So that's what prompted you to break into the place then the same night, with the help of your old friends, the Skulking Brothers. What happened that night in the pawnbrokery I can only describe it as a nightmare. When Ash and Ringo were searching the counter, located a music box that I sold to McGilded on the shelves of forfeited articles. The second disc was inside. Yes, slipped into my pocket in my very deep sick of relief. But then, something extremely unexpected happened. What are you doing in my shop? Sharp bum. A gunshot rang out of the shop and felt a sharp pain in my left arm. The broker fired his gun and the bullet pierced your limb. Yes, exactly, but unfortunately, I decided to bring my own gun with me that night, just in case. You shot him? Bang. Before I knew what was happening, I fired back. The man had already turned to flee, and intended to fire in his direction, much less kill him. But unfortunately for both of us, the bullet went in, struck in the middle of his back, and he fled through the storeroom door for refuge. Sorry tale. So took place a blink of an eye. I imagine Nash and Ringo even realized that had happened at first. I was terrified, so I fled. And that's the whole story, as everything that happened at Windybanks on that wretched night. Earlier you called McGilded a monster. A man who used his wealth and influence to distort affairs and escape justice from the crime of murder. And not so different. What a tragic irony. For what you have done is exactly the same. You become the very monster you saw and despised so deeply in McGilded. Yes, I think I have. Well, it's been a long and exhausting trial. However, it will seem that at last we have arrived after truth. Peter Gregson, out of Mr. Ashley Graydon. He's been ascertained, my lord, and will be escorted to the yard. He'll be charged with the murder of Mr. Windybank and the stealing of the government secrets. See? Yes. Very good. And you, Inspector? Regrettably, you will have to face charges yourself. Yes, my lord, of course. It transpires that you were complicit in helping a criminal escape justice. The fact remains whether or not you were doing so in the line of duty. The crime is a serious one, Inspector. Inexcusable. Now, the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. Yeah? It is time for your final adjudication. Is the jury ready, Mr. Foreman? Yes, sir. Got the squadron standing by. Is really down? Last push! The final call, the finishing whistle. The men are ready to deliver the verdicts. Thank you, Mr. Foreman. Very well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. You will now declare the final decision of the court.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Guys, that took bloody while, to be honest. That was heavy. Aha! That's the stuff, I'm off the hook! Finally, Runa, you finally managed it. Oh my god, I'm sweating. Finally! It's the word I really wasn't sure if we come out. Talk with the while there. Dizzy was right. You're the best lawyer in the world. Yeah, I'm the best. I know. Miss Lestrade, I have not finished with you yet. Why look at me, laddie? Before you start enjoying your freedom, there are certain other crimes to consider, huh? 2 months ago in my courtroom, no less, you gave false testimony, did you not? In relation to the trial today, not only did you unlawfully enter Windyback's pawnbrokery, you also attempted to abscond with Mr. McGill, the property, it seems. Never done nothing of the sort. Of course not. It's not like, just when I was getting excited about throwing a party for Jimmy to examine. You know what's actually the defense? Does it mean that when played together, the music box discs contain a message in Morse code was? Well, it was certainly not an expected relation, counsel. Quite so, my lord. The prosecution was caught entirely off guard. In fact, I think we should applaud my learned friend's courage. Here today I propose a toast. To preserve today, demanded the government's secrets to be disseminated before the entire courtroom. Very sorry about that. Was the only way I could get Inspector Gregson to admit what he'd done. If I may say something on that point. Isn't that? It's about the sound produced by the music box before. I do wonder if that was really a Morse code at all. What? What are you saying, madam? Oh, well, it's just that I'm really rather fanatical when it comes to Morse code, you see. So much that the whole world seems to be covered in dots and dashes to me, in fact. Goodness, madam, an unhealthy level of obsession, one feels. But I must say, in my opinion, the sound produced by those 2 discs were nothing more than that meaningless series of 2 different tones. Wait, what? 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 Can't that really be? Was it Morse code after all? My lord, the defense would like to listen to the music box again. Are you off your nut? How many times do I have to tell you? Does this contain ministry secrets, sunshine? This courtroom is not appropriate forum to discuss the nature of the government communications. You know, Mr. McGill conspired to trade national secrets with our enemies, secrets acquired from Mr. Graydon. Now that the man has admitted to his crimes, I have no need to pursue the matter further. It's really going to bother me. Miss Lestrade? Yeah, my lord. That which you have been seeing today here in this courtroom has been extremely disturbing. Falsified evidence, intimidation, perjury, a criminal catalogue of depravity. Apple and PS. A self-generating apples and a self-generating PS. Appealing experience on behalf of our child. Come on, now. You know, nothing done same as states the virus language. Beg your pardon? You have wig, you pay for it, it's just how life goes. Gina. Well, look, I reckon to work from something out today. The word ain't fair, and you don't want to change it. You gotta start at home, you gotta change out yourself. Oh, that's very laudable lesson, I would say. You're gonna look forward to the born again Miss Lestrade, never gracing my courtroom with her presence again. Now, with regard to the murder of Mr. Pop Windybank, proprietor of the pawnbrokery business on Baker Street, I will declare the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, Oh, guilty. Yeah. Okay, what? Fire in the hole. That is all. Go to the jail. Ka-ching. Sorry. On a personal note, I might say you surprised me, my Far Eastern friend. Oh. Despite being a Nipponese, you saw through the pretense to the Maoris that faster we than the Englishman. At the same time, saw through the gleam to the surprising heart of your English client. You have a curious talent for judging character, especially considering our very different cultures. Thanks. I don't think there anything curious about it. Whether we are from the Empire of Great Britain or the Empire of Japan, we're all human beings and not so very different on the inside. You know, I took this case for one very simple reason. To lock sword with you once again here in the courtroom. You did? When I encountered you for the first time 2 months ago, it reminded me of toasting friendship and trust with another Nipponese, only to find my trust betrayed. Through you, I hope to look into the eyes of the man I once knew, try to understand. You mentioned something similar earlier today. Well, a total betrayal at the hands of the Japanese. What happened exactly? And one day when the time comes, you will learn the answer, whether you like it or not. Wait, what? What did I skip? What did I skip? Alright, I'll wait for today if I must. Come here, known as the Rip of the Belly, and my retiring from service 5 years ago gave me cause to wonder if our meeting has some deeper purpose. So farewell, my Nipponese fellow, till we meet again. It's done, it's over at last! Oh my god, it's been 2 hours 20 minutes. Fantastic. Love it. But, where is Iris disappeared to? I don't know. There's still the credit to go through. Congratulations, Gina. I knew it all along you were innocent. It's not like I had my doubts that you killed the poor bastard. I knew that you were innocent. Well, you didn't know what you say, Mr. Naruhodo. I believe in me right about in the end. Yeah, you took care to give it a name. What's all about it? I told you I have faith in you, didn't I? Huh? No one ever has that before, see? I promise, I mean. Sorry, there's someone screaming outside. Probably. It's awful. Yeah, awful. If you tell me I ate today, all my life growing up into the dam was bad all my life growing up into his limbs, I never stressed no one, but I just cause I've been scared of being stabbed in the back. I mean, the more you trust someone, the more it hurts when they let you down. Yes, I think I can understand that. After all, I had a taste of it a trial 2 months ago. I chose to trust someone and pay for it. The betrayal left a big scar. You know, though, Gina, I worked something out quite recently too. I'm still surprised that how he's called, McKill, decided to kill him. Trusting someone else is really an exercise of learning to trust in yourself. And what your gut tells you is the right thing to do, and your trust is rewarded. There's no better feeling in the world. I have you to thank for reminding me of that valuable lesson. Could it be that? Could it be that the brick maker actually give fake, like make fake information, like make fake Morse code? There's a chance. There's a small chance that he make fake Morse code, and he told him, and it makes McGilder upset, so he killed him. Well, if I think, I don't know. It's just a possibility. I mean, it's quite like, if he's a quite cunning man, he will not dirty his own hand. You know, you understand what I mean? Well, if you say so, don't make a far loss and sense to me, though. And try to say that putting my faith in you, Gina, has been a real pleasure. For crying out loud, pack it in. But I suppose, sort of feels the same way. I mean, something's trusting someone else's here, you know, right? Thanks. Kazuma. This is the way I see it, Ryunosuke. No, sorry, that's my voice. A defense lawyer is only as good as his fate is his client. And that comes down how much faith he has in himself. And zero faith. After experience, I'm starting to feel like I understand what you mean. Kazuma, why you have to that? Only up to expectation, huh? I'm turning out to be a lawyer you believe I could be. Pardon the interruption. Police? What deuce? That man did be noticed around here, my dear fellow. Sholmes! That voice! It's too late for that voice now, Mr. Naruhodo. I've been standing here patiently in the corner of the room for an eternity. Didn't you collapse? Yes, it's me all along, I will have to say. Finally, you noticed me. But you people with your incense and babbling. What the hell? Mr. Jones? Yes, it was me all along, you see. You murdered? You murdered it? No, don't joke. I assume you're being taken back to the hospital, to be honest. The fact that you're already here is quite a surprise. Indeed I was, but I managed to escape again. Oh. Yeah, better be aware of one or two foibles of the doctor who was standing to me. I merely made my knowledge to them known to the man, and he happily issued me with the leave of absence. We're above a board? One of my adventures. But it was fine victory, Mr. Naruhodo. Your tireless efforts justly reward, I feel. Congratulations are in order. As a close friend, I think I had you. Oh, thank you. Huh. Some good that you are. Better than being cold and ice, maybe. Have I irked you in some way, Miss Lestrade? Well, you've been having a sneeze and you're nice of bears and I've been 34 our lives. I've been shot! Gina, Jesus! Oh well, that bullet did cause me a loss of substantial amount of blood, it's true. I have indeed a feeling somehow cold, but perhaps as cold as ice, but, well, have a hell. Could you take your hands off of my neck, please, Mr. Jones? And in some way, I suppose. Congratulations, I in order for you, too, Mr. Lestrade. Oh, I suppose to me, it's half-hearted. Well, naturally, it isn't my intention to alarm you, but an acquittal in trial with that particular prosecutor is perhaps a little precarious. Well done, Mr. Jones. Not alarming the slightest. Oh, the Reaper, you mean? Because anyone who is found not guilty in a trial and was working on wins up dead anyways, is that it? The very point I was trying to make. As exemplified by the fate of Mr. McGilder, in fact. Ah, but of course, I pay no attention to such irrational drivel myself. Gina, wanna come to Japan? Yeah, well, it doesn't bother me. Oh really? Oh really? Cause now, there's it, the river is beat like I'm upstairs. I'm upstairs? You mean like God? Yeah, I'm upstairs. You know what, right? That's what people are like on the site. One even got the wrong end of the stick. There are some covers like that, but truth are what rotten to the core. At the end of the day, you know, upstairs. Makes sure to get what they deserve. I suppose the one way looking at it. The man justice is one thing though, the Reaper taking matters into his own hands, claiming lives is another. Well, ain't like that, Mr. McGilder, so this word. Ain't I scared of principle, see? 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 Now, trading your witch is to be admired, Miss Lestrade. No, I just give it a rest rate. I was saying, congratulations are in order. The news of your acquittal was very welcome news. To me indeed. Let me express my heartfelt congratulations, Gina. Well, there you are, Hurley. How long have you been here? Here. Honestly, I went to a main entrance especially to meet you there. Alright, my dear, I do apologize. So, I was until I tell you what happened. These pair made either fools of themselves. What happened? As you know, I have a penchant for these guys. I was hiding this room dressed as a pirate. But these dolls didn't notice my presence at all. I had no idea. Can you imagine, Harris? Would you credit it? I'm not sure, really. Beg your pardon? I'm sorry, Hurley, but I don't have the weighty presence you seem to think you have. In fact, you really ought to be careful about that. It's going to land you in trouble one day. I'll be careful. Ouch. Anyway, it's such a shame. I was hoping to throw a party for Jeannie tonight. But you won't be able to come, will you? Well, she's been, for perjury, right? Don't look like I'm gonna nowhere for a while. You're a judge better stuff to make amends for parental offenses. What was it again? Breaking entry, taking a book through the stuff. Oh, that's blah 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 blah. Blah blah blah. I think we'll find that basically being a pickpocket is the main offenses. Why are there even any offenses? There's a job in it? I don't think so. Still, it's a gold nitpicky. All this. I should start looking for another line of work. I mean, you didn't start off a lawyer, did you, other? Well, no. But I was never a pickpocket. Well, anyway, I reckon it could make a change. I'm gonna solve it out life for reasons now, something that makes a difference for them. I'm gonna be the learning detective. Wonderful idea, Jeannie, I'm sure you can do it. No wonder. What is it? Nothing? Nothing? Miss Gina Lestrade. The prison carriage has arrived. Ma'am, come with me to the rear gate at once. Prison carriage. That's a horrible name. Right, well, look like I'm off then. Yes, goodbye, Gina. And good luck. Odo? Yes. I should dodge now. Ah! What was that for? I was like, she's reloading intensely. I was like, you should run. I don't know, I mean, I don't know what to say, so... Why tsundere? Why tsundere? Indeed, perhaps the situation calls for a phrase hitherto missing from your vocabulary, Miss Lestrade. On occasions such as this, I will recommend a simple thank you. Should suffice. Oh. Oh yes! It's a good advice, Ginny. Right, I see. Well... Thanks, Odo? Thank you for everything, what you've done, for believing me. You're welcome. Not at all. In fact, that should be from my line. Thank you, Gina. Well, there she goes. I wonder what she... Well, she's fine. She's gonna be fine. Well, quite enjoy me that bell. Pick pairs. I nearly forgot about our paper outside. A special edition of these trials is all over from front pages. Yeah. Pickpockets, innocence, proven! Isn't it wonderful? Why do they have to call it pickpocket? It's like thief, proven innocent. You should be shown to Gina Iris. Should have been thrilled. I'll see you. It's like saying first murder degree. No, it was like murderer found innocent. It's like, how can a murderer be innocent in the first place? Would you like to good news or the bad news? Not again. Well, what do you say, Reno? As usual, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first. Absolutely not! I have no intention of listening to anything but good news. And there you have it. How people answer that question says a lot about them, does it? Let's not go there. Yeah. Let's not go there. And let's finally stop. And it was recorded level of rainfall apparently. So it's about to rain again. Well, that is good news indeed. You can journey back to greater comfort. Right then, what the bad news is. The huge storm has left the seas very choppy. The channel in particular is awful, so sailings out to the Dover have been delayed by a day or more. Oh wait, Dover? So Susato is coming back? If he had at the station immediately, we may still make in time to wave Susie off. But there won't be a train surely. We couldn't be that lucky. Who do you think I am, Mr. Naruhodo? Mr. Sholmes? I rushed to Victoria Station earlier and made an arrangement of a special express. If we hurry now, we shall be there in the time for dinner. I know of a fine restaurant that serves the most delicious pig so. The great detective does it again. Yeah, wow. I mean, you were in a hospital, indeed, it does. He happens to be aware of the number of the rail's transport director's foibles. Well, I merely made my knowledge of them known to the man, and he happily laid on the locomotive elementary. Just an idea, but it might be wise to stop manipulating people that way. What are we waiting for then? To London, Victoria! I was quite confident this is the last trial, right? Okay. 18 on April, Poverty of Dover, once in 5 AM. That took somehow longer than I had anticipated. So this boat must be about to leave now. Mr. Sato, where are you? Mr. Sato! Oh, there, look. Looks like she's reading something.
Hold it!
What? Mr. Sato, wait! What are you doing? She was gonna eat the book! Mr. Naruhodo, what are you doing here? We came as soon as we could after the trial, I mean. Heard that sailings were being delayed due to bad weather, you see. Oh, I see. Then, tell me, how did Gina's trial go? It went well. She was acquitted. No, I wish he said something else. I don't know. It was like, it went horrible. Horribly good. She was acquitted. That's wonderful. Really wonderful news. The books you were about to throw into sea. That was your encyclopedia of British law, wasn't it? Oh dear. I was hoping you hadn't been seeing that. I'm not worthy of practicing the law in any way now. So I was saying my final farewell. You were saying goodbye to law? You? Susato-san? Why? Am I correct in assuming? It's because the pee-pee hole, Miss Susato. Why you had to make a pee-pee hole? I deliberately altered the scene of the crime, and then I tried to hide it fact. What I did is utterly unforgivable. That reminds me. How did you even come to have this, Susie? Yeah, that's what I was wondering. On the video of the incident. Mr. Sholmes had invited Gina to dinner, if you remember. Oh yes, we had a wonderful time. Well, Gina gave us a little introductory lesson, didn't she? To about a pickpocketing, I mean. Oh, that was so much fun. I stole Runo's armband. Yes, please don't do that. Again, guys. That's very important to me, okay? Well, if it's so important, you should pay more attention to it. We noticed for ages. On a whim, I thought it would be fun to see if I could take the cat flapper mat, so I put it on. I put it on my sleeve. Really? And I rather forgot about it until I found myself at Mr. Windybank's shop with it later that night. Oh, I see. And then I use it. Mr. Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes! Leave me, Mr. Naruhodo! Right! Theatrical interpretation. After Mr. Naruhodo had left the shop, I started to think. That door started to play on my mind. The storeroom door, you mean? Yes, if Gina was anywhere in the shop, I realized it could only be behind that door. In that moment, the little device that I had built myself sprang into my mind. I was so worried about Gina, I simply had to know. So I used cat flapper mat to make the peepee hole in the door. As captured in the photographic print of the shop. My owner heard his red-handed records. Indeed, it was the first important step point. Precisely when the peepee hole was made, that information will prove to be Mr. Naruhodo's greatest weapon. Though naturally without proof it will have amounted to nothing. But when I looked through the hole in the door, the sight that met my eyes made my blood run cold. Those started to run through my mind. I remembered that trial 2 months earlier. The trial of Manius McGilded. I thought about how he had manipulated the evidence and arranged false testimony to secure his freedom. Made the British justice system feel very dark and sinister to me. And then a terrible thought occurred to me. What if some wicked criminal was planning to do the same thing now? Because from the appearance of the crime scene, it looked exactly as though Gina had shot Mr. Windybank. Even though I was sure she would never have done such a thing. You know, worried that the true culprit could try to frame her for the crime. That's right, but then I realized it would be very difficult for anyone to give false testimony in this case. What do you mean? Well, the crime appeared to have happened behind the door of a locked room. Someone to claim falsely to have witnessed it, there would have been a way to see beyond the door. Which, a peepee hole would have been the very thing. Only the peepee hole wasn't actually there until after the crime had been committed, of course. And the criminal will know that, so it wouldn't make any difference. But the possibility of a rather ingenious trap was there, was it not? A trap? So is that why you keep it a secret, Susie? You never mentioned that you made up the peepee hole to anyone, not even the police. And I know, and I knew that the time I was doing was wrong, a criminal offense even. That's why I decided to confide in Mr. Sholmes. If Mr. Naruhodo was completely backed into the corner with no other possible means of escape, the truth about peepee hole could have saved him. That was my plan. It was a half-baked peepee hole-ish plan. She really does think of everything. But then, why didn't you just tell me everything before the trial began? My dear fella, you're not thinking straight. If she had done that, it will have rendered you complicit in the whole escapade. You could have been disbarred if you had been seen to have knowingly tampered with the crime scene. So Miss Susada decided to shoulder the burden of the responsibility alone. For your sake, and Miss Lestrade. Miss Susada. The truth is, when it happened, I did it because I lost a little of my faith in the law. Oh. I was worried that the right person wouldn't be convinced of the crime. But the moment I allowed myself to think that, is the moment I lost my right to call myself a judicial assistant. What you did is incomparable to what he did. Graydon is on the one who lied in the witness stand using the peepee hole as a way to implicate Gina. And besides, if the peepee hole inconsistency hadn't existed, I'm all sure that she would have been acquitted in the end. Mrs. Sato, what you did saved Gina's life. Well, with your kind words, Mr. Naruhodo, you'll save me too, from my regrets. We all must all be thankful that Miss Lestrade's freedom has been assured. Yes, exactly. Although some of the loose ends that trial will continue to play on my mind, I'm sure. But the revelation that the music box disc contains a secret message, Mr. Naruhodo. What a triumph! The word out and followed admiration. Well, actually, the argument wasn't quite compelling as I thought it was. Huh? It wasn't? It was a communication officer among the jury members, you see, a telegraph operator. She said that the majority of the sounds on the disc were just meaningless tones. As one would accept, after all, we're talking about secret government communication. Now they were written in cipher to avoid being readily understood should they have been intercepted. In cipher? I see. I see. So then we could never had a hope to understand the message anyway. Nonsense, my dear fella. It's a quite zero-pipe problem, I assure you. Sherlock still have a copy of it, now that I think of it. Ah. So... G? Asoji? What? Well, that can be a real word, can it? How funny. Wait, Iris, what did you just said? I just said Asoji. Does that word mean something to you? Means something? Asoji. Is that not my best friend? Huh? But how? How do you know their names, Iris? I wrote them down during the trial before the message was playing on the music box. She's just getting on the fly? She really is a genius! I thought the message probably could have been written out in plain Morse code, so I tried various ways to interpret it. But whether I tried, the words just didn't make any sense. That is, in English at least. Oh. Something occurred to me, you see. There's more than one Morse code, not just English variety. Various countries around the world, well, after they added to Morse code, so they use their own languages. I don't believe it, are you saying? That's right. I've only actually seen a chart of Japanese Morse code once before. But I think it's based on the Iroha pangram, isn't it? You mean that say that in Japanese Morse code the message says Asoji? Yes, I think so. Sorry, but I don't remember all the Japanese Morse code. Iris, would you let me see that? Miss Usato, do you know Japanese Morse code? Yes! Oh god! Yes! I spent some time studying it. Because I'm quite sure Mr. Code will become ever more important for international communication. Then I might recommend, my dear madam, that you focus your efforts on the English version. Why? Read that as my Irish show me the message, please. Of course. But what can this possibly mean? Other is the long sequence of supposedly meaningless dots and dashes. Made a color drain from Sato-san's face. There's no doubt that this message is written in Japanese Morse code. So the British has begun using Japanese for its secret communications. I understand the reason why, but the message appears to be a list of 4 people's names. 4 names? The first, Kei Asoji. Kazuma Asoji. Why? What was his name on that disc? The second is Ashin. Who is Ashin? I don't recognize that name. The third is T. Gureguson. Gregson? It will be Tobias Gregson, the third man of the list. But his name is doing a secret government combination here as well. And the last name is mine? What's the matter, Mr. Sutter? It's just so strange, so unexpected. Oh, what is, Susie? Don't keep us in suspense. The last name is J. Wilson. What? Wilson? John H. Wilson? You mean my father? Daddy? Daddy? They say only J. Wilson, so I'm afraid I can't be sure. Then, after the 4 names in reds, you gotta translate from Japanese, that is all 4. As after the 4 names in reds, if I translate from Japanese, that is all 4. To our dad. No. To our dad, yeah. Gregson is still alive. That's the end of the message, or rather, the end of what you noted down, Iris. I just can't believe it. Who would ever have thought that those discs contain Japanese Morse code? Not to mention a strange list of some disturbingly familiar names. It would appear that this particular message is communication of some kind between Great Britain and the Empire of Japan. So that it could have been Japan then. Where Susie and Runo come from. Oh, well, No, it's not very likely, really. Is it? I mean, there are thousands of people with the surname Wilson. There must be a lot of J's among them. Professor John H. Wilson, visiting professor of medicine at the Real Human University. You're gonna tell her, I think. You must tell her one day, but we can't tell her eyes about that now. We just can't. This is so strange somehow, solving the case of Mr. Windybank's murder today. I feel like I've rolled back a boulder at the mouth of the dark cave. I don't wonder if perhaps it's a dark cave that we shouldn't go under inside. Oh! Honk. Oh dear, the ship is going to set sail. Well, catch you later then. Yes, you see, that's like, I'll be like, so I'll catch you later then. Sail at the same ship, we at the port of Dunkirk in France. Oh, Dunkirk. Oh. Good thing we're done with the war, right? Right? They'll change on the large passenger vessel bound for Japan. You're really going then, Sissy? I'm sweating! We wish you safe passage, Mr. Sato. It's almost 3 hours. Oh my god. Thank you so much. I wish all you have the very best. Mr. Sato, I'd hope I have you always at my side to guide me, to support me. Mr. Naruhodo, please, come back soon. As far as I'm concerned, you really are the very best! Judicial Assistanto in the Wardo. I'm quite sure I'll be back before you know it. Ah, you're taking 100 days. Really, Susie? Oh, now don't forget, Iris, I made your promise I've yet to fulfill. Promise? Your manuscript. Ah, oh yes, the Hound of the Baskervilles. Oh! I don't know why now it pops in my mind. Mikotaba, her father, was friend with John H. Wilson. So there's a high chance that John H. Wilson, so father of Iris, actually told the story to Mikotoba because, I don't know, she was a kid. She was like, oh, let's tell her this adventure or Hella Jones in her head. So probably she knew about that. Probably. I could be wrong. I'll be waiting for you then, Susie. A promise is a promise. Definitely, Iris. So she knows for a fact that John H. Wilson is the actual father. There's a chance. Because, as you remember, her father was a friend with Watson. Fake Watson. Yes. Do you remember the first time we met? There's a high chance. It makes sense, to me at least, because it's an adventure that he actually happened. Yes, of course. On the SS Buria, when I was dragged out from that wardrobe still half asleep. If I remember rightly, you threw me halfway across the cabin. That's suicide to take down! You know very well that I'm talking about that after that. It's strange, but being thrown together, we were in that case, I somehow felt straight away. You were the perfect person to continue Kazuma's great legacy. What legacy? What legacy? He was still a student. Mr. Sato. And my instinct were right. I really want to believe. No, I'm sure that. I'll be back soon. Farewell until then. Sayonara. Oh, we have the video too. Should I disappear?
Somehow we seem to have come to the end of the adventures of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Or the first volume, at least. Looking back now, it feels as though fate has led me on this journey. Fate led me to becoming a lawyer, to traveling halfway around the world, to meeting the great detective. I'm sure there'll be trials and tribulations ahead. Of course there will. But whatever happens, I know I'll be able to turn my fortunes around. After all, I have the greatest friends in the world on my side.
I am in danger? Oh yes, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, Mr. Sholmes. There was some rather awkward news. The railway company had decided to sue over the special express train up. Why? Because such a commotion on the line, all the other train had to wait at stations. But really, we will never have made it to the dock in time, my boys. Anyway, explain everything and how it was all your fault. What? Oh, you're using that ending. I love it. I believe a formal complaint should be delivered on your office tomorrow. But don't worry, my dear fellow, according to Mr. Sutter, you love defending yourself in court. Alright, I'm perfectly happy to testify. He really didn't look like he's the sort of man who would do something so outrageous. See? Mr. Sholmes, I felt a great urge to say something. A word, if you don't mind. Why, certainly any word you like, below it. Out, my dear fellow. Oh yes, I love Runo words. I know just the one he will use here. Then, I really must say...
Objection!
Ladies and gentlemen, we finally finished the first saga, the first game. There's another one. I don't know if it's included. I still need to check. I don't know. In the Steam Chronicles version, and this was one interesting adventure, I may say. I am extremely tired, and it's been 3 hours. I'm probably gonna edit it out and divide them accordingly, hopefully. And I'm sweating as hell because my laptop is on fire. I don't know why. You can ask to the... I don't know. You can ask to the other people. And I'm... I don't know what I'm doing. I actually want to read what the credits, a bit of the credits. Oh, I haven't slept a wink. This manuscript is due tomorrow now. I'm this busy. Hurley usually cooks me breakfast. Well, cooks is overstated. For me, dry toast and instant coffee. I do miss Susie and her lovely Japanese breakfast. Japanese breakfast, the best though. British stuff, British breakfast is okay. Just British cuisine is more like, except gravy. The rest is like, Exactly right, little Ray Coban coins hide under Ray sticks themselves. Well, Aidonoza knows his father is an innocent man. Are you calling us my son a liar? Witness! My culture is no place for your petty arguments. Da, 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 da. Zanagua, why are you still in the vessel? I mean, delivered a Russian dancer to shore Shanghai and laid low. Well, last night I apprehended an extremely suspicious Japanese national on a boat. I've done nothing wrong. All I did was give it a wag high offspring refuge in my pocket. Man brings my own kid of bird as suddenly he's a hardened criminal. It's not fair. Oh, he tried to take the cat then. We still don't know which... no, wait. We still don't know one of the name, right? Scientific investigation will be gold standards for boys in the new age. The drawing of a world governed by the tenets of order and discipline. Like a great clock, in fact, whose hundred of parts match together in perfect unison. Now, if you excuse me, I have about 2 minutes and 37 seconds until my next appointment. I feel like the credits is so fun because it's like a cameraman. It's like, say something cool! Like the cameraman, say something cool! Maggie. Are you gonna be the next victim? Is out and made again. Whenever I say that alarm, she broke now. Get a standing ovation. Wanna hear it? Not bad, I suppose. For a amateur. Glug, glug, glug. Huh. That lady shape puts me to shame. Is Gina gonna be a detective? There's a strong feeling that she's gonna be a detective. He visits the old girl on a daily basis, of course. Generally my old jailbird. I say battling with those bally stairs. Every day has done lunges of the dicky rack. Managing rather well with that housework too. Just made business take up, I say. All the gossiping neighbor don't realize the man of a house is own mate. How many years is for accidental murder? Boys is back on the beat again. All thanks to the Ripper. There's nothing I enjoy more these days than hunting down small change in the gutter. I'm at a Bobby now, looking for our Londoners stirred up to their pennies, and my lovely line. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly. Look like I'm gonna be doing time for a picnic. It appears so. Barry's come every day for a natter. Ain't to worry. So he's going on about all the cases which Shams is looking into. Criminal investigation are kind of interesting. When you say gossip, don't turn into them. Yeah, she's gonna be the next one, detective. 30 the strong one. Oh! Yes, I renounce my upbringing and chose a life of sophisticated crime. But regrets? Please. Give her a brief thing, Ash, we used tonight. We got time in the airplane to come there with mineral skulking milk train, right? 3 musket roasties. Milking neighborhood for all his wealth. I thought it was decapitation. Sorry, like capital punishment. He didn't murder someone. He also sell government. They're probably gonna keep it alive to see what information he sold. You know? Like, if you've done such a big crime, they want to know everything. These past 6 months has been a time I shall remember. Painful goodbyes and wonderful encounters. Not to realize that's what life is all about. Naruhodo-san, I promise. The system will return to you one day. But for now, I leave you with many memories. And I'll have felt wish that life will treat you well. Thank you. Oh, we have a picture. I will probably post a picture of Kazuma. Huge picture of Kazuma. Lovely. Kazuma. 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 Wait, what? Is that a Monster Hunter credit scene? It's a Monster Hunter style credit scene! Sorry, basically, there's a... I don't know who started it, but I remember Monster Hunter... Oh yeah, it's a Capcom game. It makes sense. So Monster Hunter, there is a video where he basically... There's the hunter basically, and you walk and there's all the monster to compare the size difference. A lot of people love that kind of credit. Interesting, there was another one. Sorry. I assume that was the last one. Usually put crumple everything together, you know. So we know that this little swan lady is still alive. That's the father. So the swan lady identity is basically anonymous because we don't know who she is. But she did kill John H. Wilson, so the question is, you're probably gonna encounter her again. We have also Naga. So I'm gonna check. I don't know. I'm not sure if this is actually the. Oh, he left him. Ah, that is so sad. He left him. Like right that moment, he left him. Like saying, "Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I'm dead. You're gone." It was a co-op adventure. It was only one episode. One episode. I'm sorry, I was, it happens so often, it's like one episode and just like, animation without GC stuff. Oh, it was only one episode. I kinda like, I'm a little bit annoyed by that. The fact that just to kill the companion immediately. But it's almost like necessary, it's like plot-wise. It's like, oh, he has to die. I'm like, oh, fuck that. With the bobbies. I'm gonna check with Steam very quickly. Is it included? Actually, I don't know if it's included. So I see the soundtrack is included, so I don't understand if it's already in it. Do Chronicles already include the second one? Ace Attorney 2 Resolve. We have Grand Performance Recording, which is basically the soundtrack. Yeah. We have it, so I think we have the game. It doesn't really. There's no note. There's no note in here. Yeah, there's no note. Yeah, there's no note. There's nothing. I should Google it probably. Does say. No, it's only the thing. Well, never mind. We'll check. Well, we will know after, like at the end of the game. We will know. I assume they would have it sold as a DLC because it's something necessary that most game developers big ass developer company do, and is a big assumption, which is not completely uncalled. Conflicting. No, there's nothing. Doesn't say. Well, I guess we're just gonna wait and see. I'm gonna go so bad. There's literally, let's see. I'm recording for 3 hours straight. 3 hours. 3 hours, guys. Capcom. Yeah. Great Attorney Adventures. Fiend. Question mark? No question mark. Huh. Fleeting farewell. Ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed time. We have it! We fucking have it! Guys, we have Ace Attorney Resolve. Adventure, yeah, there it is. Let's play now! Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I hope you enjoyed this long-ass adventure. You're probably gonna make weird-ass cards. I don't know why I'm telling you now, you're probably just gonna see a weird-ass card. I apologize because I wanna give that sense of continuity, but I'm gonna suck at it. But I'm gonna give the old classic random card and release it accordingly, quite poorly, I guess. It is what it is. Hope you enjoy. Have a lovely day, a lovely evening. I am Smarting Hassel, and feel free to subscribe, and feel free to check out the next one. But it's probably going to be in production, and we'll see you again very, very soon.
Objection!